Hey guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, I wanted to talk about 3 savings challenge options. So let's get to it. Okay, right in the beginning of the video here, I just wanted to say quickly, if you stick with me to the end, I wanted to talk to those of you who follow me on Instagram for a few minutes about something, but like I said, we'll save that till the end. So I know that a lot of us just wrapped up a no spend January challenge, or maybe you're doing a no spend year or a low spend year, but there might be some of you who are looking for a challenge that is not quite so intense or doesn't require as much of a commitment. And so in this video, I wanted to share with you 3 different challenges that you could do that are simpler, easier, don't take up as much time, but might help you to save a little bit of money, because let's be real, we're all looking to save money right now. I know that we are, probably you are too, and costs are high, eggs are super expensive. Everybody's talking about the price of eggs, and so you might be trying to save money. So what are some ways that you can do so that don't require such a large commitment or don't seem so daunting? Now, what we want to focus on is small wins, and we can do that by doing the first challenge, which is to save $1 a day. So obviously, if it's a 30-day month, that's $30 a month. But if you think of it in just the small chunk of saving $1 a day, it might help you to actually get started with your savings plan, or to start a savings account. Even if you don't even have a savings account, that's obviously step number 1: get a savings account opened up. And then, so if you just commit to doing $1 a day for 30 days, then you might actually get a good start, and at least you'll feel like you've accomplished something, and it'll help you to move forward in your goal of saving. Now, if $1 a day seems too much, honestly, do 50 cents a day. That's fine too. A quarter a day. The goal is to be saving something every day. The important part with all of these challenges is consistency. If you can be consistent, then these small wins will add up. Next is the spare change challenge. So if you are using cash for things, at the end of the day, if you have any change left over, any small dollar bills, then you stick it into a jar. You can also do this electronically. If you have a certain budget for the day, perhaps, of what you're going to spend on lunches, or just, mad money, I like to call it. If you have any leftover anything from your mad money budget for the day, then you put it to the side, or you put it over into your savings bucket. Now, in the beginning of the video, I was talking about a no spend challenge for January, but maybe that no spend challenge just was too long, or you fell off the wagon after a week. So what you can do instead is a 3 to 5 day no spend challenge. So pick a week and just take 3 of those days. Maybe it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And on those days, you don't spend anything. You try really hard to not make impulse buys, not stop at a convenience store and pick something up. So just try to choose certain days of the week. It doesn't have to be consecutive days. And I know that saving money can be really daunting and very difficult when you have every penny accounted for in your budget. But one thing you can do is there are ways to round up. Like, say, certain banks will allow you to, every purchase you round up, and then the change will go into your savings account. So you can do something like that. There's different apps, ways of doing this. Okay, so another way of finding extra money in your budget is to temporarily pause a subscription. So I talked about how the month of January, a good idea is to pause your gym membership, because the gyms are so crowded. You don't really want to be there with all those people who are just doing it, they're just have New Year's resolutions. So if there is something that you can choose to pause temporarily, maybe it kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies to cancel it completely. But if you can take some kind of subscription that you have, some kind of streaming service, and go ahead and just put a pause on it. Almost everything will allow you to do that, because they want you to return to them. So you can go online, sign in, and just do pause, and then that'll save you a month of that subscription. You could take that money and you could put it into your savings account. You could also commit to taking a break to take out just for a set period of time, for 30 days perhaps. So for 30 days, you are not going to do any kind of takeout ordering or pickup. You're just going to eat everything at home, no takeout. Now, the key to making all of these work is staying motivated. And I think that's why a lot of times with no spend January or a no spend year, it doesn't work, because it's really hard to stay on track. It's hard to stay motivated doing it. We all have rough moments, rough days. Things are hard at work. And then we slip up because, we're human beings and it's tough. We have emotions, and you might have a bad day. You might be feeling sick. And then that's why you kind of break from these challenges. But so if you can stay consistent, though, consistency is the key. It's also the key to developing new habits. So if you can continue to do things, then it's going to just you're going to develop these frugal habits, which will help you to save money in the long run. So that's why it's really difficult in the first beginning periods of a lot of these challenges. But if you can stick with it and push through, then you might find that it's not so hard the next time you do it, or the next month or the month after that you're able to say, you know what, I really don't need any of that takeout food after all. I feel healthier, I feel better without it, and I'm also saving money. Or if you do rounding up with your bank, you might start to not even notice that those missing pennies that are going into your savings account. So trying to stay consistent. But if it's hard and you find yourself falling off, then you want to celebrate your wins, which is why I suggest doing like the short challenges of 3 to 5 days, or just, every Monday I don't, spend extra money. I have a no spend Monday or a no spend Friday, whatever day it is for you. Because that way, if you can feel like you're having some progress, because it's hard to stick with stuff if you're not having any kind of success. And I know this to be true, right? So even like with like an Etsy shop, say you're opening a brand new Etsy shop, you're all excited, you're doing print on demand as an example, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make some extra cash doing this, but I'm not making any sales. But as soon as you start making some sales in your Etsy shop, then it's like you want to get back in. You're like, oh, I made a sale, I'm going to get back into it. And I know this from personal experience. This is how it works. So then you want to get back to it, and you want to add more designs and more products because you see that it's working. But if it's not working and you have several months go by and nothing is selling in your Etsy shop, then you just feel like, oh, this is like so pointless. I'm doing all this work for nothing. And so it's really, really difficult to continue going. So if you can have a way to save money in a way that you're going to actually see something grow, even if it's a little bit, right? So even this is why it might seem like this is ridiculous. Why am I going to save $30? It's not going to make a difference, Dana. I don't need to save $30, $1 a day. But trust me, if you see that money in there, it'll help to motivate you to feel like, okay, like, oh, that's $30 in there. Like, I did it. Now I can continue. I can start to save more money. And that's really the goal. That's the purpose. It's not the $30, right? That we know that's not going to change your life, but it's the fact that you found some success, and that it might help to motivate you to continue to save more money and to build upon it. And that's really what we're reaching for here, is to try to help to get you going, to get it started, so that way you can psychologically feel like, all right, this is working, I can do this, I can continue. And then maybe it'll be another $30 and another $30 and then before you know it, you've got a couple $100s in there. And then maybe it'll grow to a couple $1,000. And so that's why doing these challenges is sometimes good, just to help you to kind of see some momentum, to start to build some momentum, to see some kind of savings to begin, right? Because if you don't ever begin, if you never can get any money going at all in a savings account, then it's just not going to happen, right? You're just never going to save. So hopefully this video helps. And if you've stuck with me here to the end, I did want to have a quick conversation with those of you who follow me on Instagram. But if you don't want to stick around for that conversation, that's totally fine. If you'd like to watch a video where I was talking all about how to cut your energy costs, you can go ahead and click here. And if you do, I'll see you in that video. But if you'd like to stick around and talk about Instagram, let's talk about that now. Okay, so my Instagram account, I have had this account for years, and then I essentially abandoned it for a couple years, and I'm so sorry. But anyway, so still several thousand of you following me on there. And I did go on and I had deleted a bunch of personal pictures. So pictures of the kids, things that I felt like I didn't want to have up there just for their privacy, which I did go ahead and remove a lot of those. And so you may have noticed, if you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting daily posts. I posted the No Spend January piggy bank photos that I had been sharing. And then now I'm doing a Budget Like a Boss series, and where I just have done a bunch of comic book style images of myself with some tips on budgeting. And I don't know if this is really, like great on Instagram. But it's a way for me to post. And because I feel like if it's just pictures of myself, I'm not doing it. Like I'm just not taking pictures of myself. And, I do go to work, I'm working during the day. I work in a corporate job. And so I'm doing that, but I'm not like living this exciting life of like travel and like a bunch of stuff that you would necessarily want to see pictures of on Instagram. So that's why I'm like hoping that you guys who do follow me are enjoying this or getting some value out of it. But just kind of doing it as a trial to see what works as far as, because I would like to post on Instagram more often, but I just am not wanting to put personal pictures really up, because I don't have a lot of personal pictures of myself doing anything exciting. And I usually look not great. I'm just wearing like, I'm working and I look pretty frazzled, most of the day as I'm, in meetings and stuff, but it's not like I'm like doing glamorous things is what I'm saying. So maybe over the summertime I could post some pictures of my garden, but it's just, I'm trying to work it out. So if you have any comments on all of that, you can leave it down in the comments. But I just wanted to sort of explain that a little bit about Instagram and what I'm doing there, and that I don't even know what I'm doing there, and I don't know if it's working or not working, or if I continue like this doing these sort of, comic book drawing pictures, illustrations of myself on there. But that's where we're at. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that briefly here at the end of the video. Okay, guys, so I hope everyone's doing well, staying warm. I'm really looking forward to spring, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Okay.